Okay, so this is Redshift training. So as you might be aware, Redshift is a cloud data warehouse. Okay, so that means till now everything was on premises. For example, if you are working employee, when we are going to office, there was server room. Okay, so that is actually a, on premises, means the server which exists in the customer premises. Okay, so of course, before cloud came, everything was on premises, means everyone used to have their own server rooms and all. But what companies like Amazon, what they did is they come up with some new idea why everyone should have, you know, their own data centers. So okay, then what is the problem with the data centers is everyone has to purchase their hardware, they have to rent, okay, office premises, and they have to arrange the high-end CPUs and cables, and they have to have their own system administrators, network administrators, and all. Okay, so but even after that, after 4-5 years, all the whatever high-end now, it is no more high-end configuration of 4-5 years. So again, they have to buy new hardware and change the existing one. Okay, so and again they have to do software patching, hardware upgrades from their end. So everything basically they need to do from their end. So but what companies like Amazon, what they did is they will maintain the data centers, and we just need to pay how much we are using. It's like postpaid mobile bill or current bill that we are paying. But even for electricity bill, we will be paying at least some minimum, either we use or we don't use. And similarly, even for telephone bill, once we took some maybe postpaid, yeah. So whether you use or you don't use, you have to pay that minimum amount, whatever that plan you have taken, some 199 plan, 299 plan, or some 399 plan, or whatever plan you took, whether you use it or you don't use it, you have to pay it. But in cloud, it's not like that. If you use, then only you will pay. If you're not going to use, then you're not going to pay. Means you're not going to get the bill. So that's the thing here. So okay, then for example, I'll show you. See, for July, actually I have not used anything. Today, what is the date? 26th. So I have not got any bill. So whatever this 0.01 is, yeah, because of the data that I have in my S3. Okay, so if I have some data to show some how to load and how to unload. Okay, so anyway, it is insignificant, so I just left that because that files are required to show to the next batch, maybe for loading. So 0.81 means 80 paise for my S3 storage. So that means if I delete that files, I will not get any bill, even 80 paise also. So, but anyway, this is required, so I just left it. So basically for this month, I have 0 bill. But for last month, I got only some $1. Okay, that too, yeah, Redshift. Yeah, I think I have used it 6 hours. So if you use it, you will get it. If you don't use it, you don't get it. That's all. But for me, you see, I got some 4,000 rupees. Okay. So that means if you don't use it, you don't have to worry about your bill on that. Means you don't get any bill. So basically that is a benefit for the customers. So, and in fact, I'll tell you what are the benefits that are associated with the cloud. See here, you don't have to purchase the hardware. Okay, you don't have to purchase high-end hardware CPUs and GPUs. So, and you see, on premises they are continuously upgrading their OS. No, they means versioning, and patches for whatever softwares they are using, and they have to do on their own. But in cloud, we are not going to do that. And auto scaling means, for example, if they need more storage, they have to buy and they have to add. It may be like external storage or even RAM. So they should buy it and they should increase if they want. And moreover, they need to hire the system admins and network admins to take care of it. And they had, of course, rent the premises, and they have to, set up CCTV and everything, cabling, that LAN and WAN, and everything. In fact, because it involves a lot of expenses, and it requires a lot of planning and all. But cloud, you can just get started in just 2 minutes. How? You will just come to the console.aws.com, just sign up. That's all. Okay, if you are a new user, you can sign up. What you need is just an email address. Okay, in 5 minutes, you can set up your server with whatever configuration you want. So basically, things got very, very simple, and you don't have to have initial investment, like to purchase, to rent or to purchase or to hire system admins, nothing. And once you set up your system, for example, you see, I have my cluster. Yeah, so this cluster creation hardly takes 2 minutes. And you see, I paused it because if you pause it, you don't get any bill, because I know that I'm not going to give any training, or I'm not going to use this cluster for next 1 month. So I just paused it. If you want, you just resume it. That's all. It's completely under your control. Okay, so yeah, the main reason customers are coming to the cloud is, you see, this so much comfort, right? First one is definitely significant, 90% of the cost is reduced. What they are paying on premises, they're just everything will be maintained just with 10% of the cost. Earlier, if they're paying 100 rupees, they'll just pay 10 rupees. And they don't have to worry about whether the system admins are there, network admins are there, or whether we need to purchase, which software to purchase, or which version to upgrade, or which hardware to purchase, what CPU or GPU configuration. They don't have to worry about anything. They just come to the console and select whatever. In that console, you will have all kinds of versions here in AWS console when they set up the system. That's all. And software upgrade, everything will be taken care by this cloud provider. Here in this case, AWS. So that means a lot of comfort for the customers. So that's what they want. They don't want their headache to all this useless stuff. Okay. What they want is their system to be available all the time, and their business should go on. That's all. And of course, obviously, they should get it with least cost. And this is saving 90% of their cost. And they don't have to worry about anything else. So that's where actually customers are attracted to the cloud. So yeah, actually, summary, yeah, it comes with low cost, like it reduces them 90% of the cost or 1/10 of the cost. Yes, that is 90%. So yeah, cloud data warehouses are very faster. For example, we know the on-premises data warehouses like Oracle Data Warehouse, Teradata. Teradata was faster, but but the cloud data warehouses are much faster. Okay, so and 3x faster than EC. The third point is, okay, you see, as soon as cloud data warehouse is there, obviously the competitors will come up. Okay, for example, you see earlier, initially only Paytm was there, but after that, that Google Pay came, then Phone Pay came. But nowadays, if you see, Phone Pay is the dominant app, or most customers are using. In fact, the Paytm became, in fact, the last. So yeah, competitors will come. Okay, so okay, then why you see, once inventing is one thing, but later on giving the customers whatever the performance they need or security they need, that should be taken care. That is the reason Phone Pay is, it became the number one than the others. Of course, nowadays every pay came, Airtel Pay, WhatsApp Pay, whatnot, Amazon Pay. Everyone has their own pay. Same thing. So first Amazon Cloud came, then of course Microsoft Azure came, that is Microsoft Cloud. Then Google BigQuery, that is Google Cloud came. Of course, the other database also has their own cloud, like Oracle has. I mean, because if they don't provide their cloud, they will lose their business. Customers will leave. Obviously, right. For the customer, what they need, he want less cost. If someone is giving with better performance and cheaper rates, he will just move it. That's all. So I'll tell you an example. Before Geo came, data rates are really high. But when Geo came, and initially, in fact, he gave, in fact, almost free data. Then that's where all others people came down and reduced their data rates. Same thing. Unless competitor comes, even to face the market, they have to come down. That's all. There is no other way. So when cloud came and they are providing cheaper and better performance, others they have, you see, they have to save their business. They have to hold their customers. Otherwise, customers will go because somebody else is providing better performance and cheap cost. So either they have to leave the customers or they have to come up with a way by which they can retain the customers. So the option is they should have their own cloud. So Oracle has, yes, their own cloud, and Teradata does not have their cloud because, yeah, basically financially it is not such a big, okay, but they are making use of the cloud infrastructure of the other cloud providers. For example, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, these are very big cloud providers. But of course, among these three, Amazon has the market of 80% of the cloud market is with Amazon only. Okay, of course, next maybe little bit Microsoft, Google is just ramping up, and of course the other one is what is that? Snowflake. Yeah, Snowflake is also small, but these are all, for example, Teradata. If you take, it is also using the infrastructure of the AWS for their customers because they are not in a position to have their own data centers. Because data center means obviously it requires a lot of financial investment. Okay, if for example we are using telephone, we all cannot have our own towers and these things, right? You can only pay some, take some plan and pay. That's all. Similarly, every customer cannot have their own cloud. If they, no problem, even if they cannot have their own cloud, they can utilize the infrastructure of the other global cloud service providers like AWS or Azure. So in fact, many of the companies are using AWS infrastructure, okay, for their cloud. In fact, most of the Teradata customers, they are using AWS cloud. And in fact, Teradata only will do yeah, the migration from their on-premises to cloud platform. Okay, cool. So that is basically a small introduction about this one. So even before going to that, what are we going to cover in this session is, yeah, because this is related to data warehouse, so definitely I'll be covering database concepts. Okay, so like databases, what is a database? Okay, what is a relational database? And then data warehousing. Okay, and then what is OLTP and OLAP systems? Okay, you know, right? OLTP, OLAP. So that need to be covered. I'll tell you why I should cover, because people will be asking in interview. Okay, without questions on OLTP, OLAP, there will not be any interview in the data warehousing environment. So yeah, so I have 14 years of experience. So from 14 years itself, you know, I have been in the panel, you know, I mean, taking so many interviews and seeing even other people taking the interviews. So I know what they are asking. So basically, yes, you see, we cannot say that we are good in a data warehousing without knowing the fundamentals. So fundamentals will be asked. You cannot say I don't know what is foreign key. If you say that you are a database engineer or you are a data warehousing consultant. So fundamentals should be known. So yeah, we will be covering those fundamentals as part of database basics. Then data warehousing concepts also will cover. Okay, yeah, SQL actually it is the heart, because we always day to day work with SQL. So the more strong you are with SQL, you are in such a better position in the team. Okay, so in fact, this is the key, even in this success of the interview or even while doing this job. Yes, the better you know, that much forward you are in your team. Okay, so yeah, it means yeah. So we'll be showing like how to create clusters, you know, how to create users, yeah, those things with respect to Redshift. But you see, you know, the most of the admin that we used to do in on premises, for example, Oracle or Teradata, they are only creating users, granting access, revoking access, and everything, are creating databases. But here, most of the administration activities will be taken care by the cloud provider, because they are the one who is providing the cloud services. We will only make use of them. But of course, creating users, those things will lies with us. So basically, there is no separate admins here, but even the general Redshift people only can take care, like creating databases or creating users. Yeah, these things are granting IAM roles to S3 and these stuff. That also we will see. Yeah, Redshift, yes, this is a detailed class which we will be covering as part of this song. Okay, so what is that? Like introduction, yeah, okay, creating AWS account, creating IAM role, launching cluster, you know, or Redshift architecture in detail. Yeah, because, you know, I mean, general, why we need to cover architecture? If you understand the architecture, you will be knowing like how the query will be processed, and that will help us in performance issues, especially where the query is taking more time, or so that you can get better idea to troubleshoot. So, and based, of course, you also will be expected to know the terminology, so we should be knowing the architecture. Yeah, that all, of course, I will take care. So, and yeah, other concept, maybe you're new, don't worry. Yeah, these are all the different concepts we should be knowing. Okay, about the table design. Okay, sort keys. Don't worry about what it is. What is this terminology? Just listen. Okay. Yeah. So, and loading and unloading, all this stuff. In fact, this is the heart of this again, Redshift. Okay, loading. This is what we will be doing in real time, loading data into Redshift from your source systems, and unloading data from Redshift to maybe into other external system or S3 or some other any environment. Unloading. This is like, you know, import and export of any database. Every database will have import and export tools, right? So same thing. Import means loading, export means unloading. Only terminology differs, but the basic things that we do will remain same everywhere. Every database will have import and export, but here they will call loading, unloading. but actually they call copy and unload, they call. Okay, so copy. So here we'll be discussing copy and unload. And of course, WLM will be there. WLM means in Teradata also we have WLM, workload management. Same thing they also have here. So yeah, of course they have something like Redshift Spectrum. Don't worry, I will be telling you. What it says is generally in data warehousing means we have to load the data into database, right? Of course, any data warehouse is like that. We have to first load it, then we can query it. The Spectrum says that you don't have to load into database, but you can directly query the data which is there in S3. So what is the benefit? Benefit is that we don't have to load it into Redshift. Okay, your data is there already S3, so you will directly query from S3. So you are saving a lot of time, and you are not loading into Redshift clusters, so you don't need high-end Redshift nodes. Okay, and of course system tables. Every system will have, every database will have some system tables. Like for example, in Teradata you have DBC tables and all, and similarly in Oracle also you'll have some Oracle system tables. So they will actually capture what is happening on the system, what are all the queries ran, who are all the users, what are all the different constraints, so all those things. So yes, system tables also very important. Then of course Redshift pricing, because if you don't know what is the billing, then you may see the sudden surprise. Hey, why I've got this much bill? So you should be knowing what you are doing in order to avoid the surprises. So for example, you see, I got the bill at 4,000, right? For example, now I paused the cluster. If I don't pause this cluster, even I'm not using, I'll get the bill. You may say, you forgot. I mean, actually, I forgot one time. Generally, we tend to forget, but that's our mistake. If you're not going to use, you can pause it. Or of course, you can schedule to pause it. Means automatically it will be paused. So if you're not going to use, you should stop the resources. You can say stop means here pause. So otherwise, of course, you can delete it. Delete means again you have to create it. So you should be knowing when your resources will be charged, when they will not be charged, all these things. But don't worry, when you first time create the AWS, you will get the 1 year free tier. 1 year you will be given free to use the cluster. So you will not get any billing. So this one is snapshots. Snapshots means it's like backup. Any database, we should be talking about backups, right? So yeah, here it will automatically take the backups. Here the terminology is snapshot. Okay, so like we will be seeing like how the snapshots will be taken, whether it's a manual or automated. Yeah, it's all automated. And of course, if you want, you can take manual also. And how what is the cost associated with that and everything. And once you know all these concepts, the next one is performance optimization, which involves, I mean, obviously performance optimization means you should be knowing everything, how things will work. Then we can do better in that. Okay, cool. So, okay, so yeah, before proceeding with further, may I know your introduction and followed by if you have any questions. We'll start with Somnath.
Yeah, hi. So I basically work as a data engineer and some big data developer. Yeah, my expectation is to uh, get knowledge on Redshift so that I can work on it and answer in interviews. So because I didn't get any opportunity to work on warehouse, but yeah, so I just wanted to know that part which I don't know and get good at it. Yeah, so so what I'm expecting is I
Okay.
work on daily loads like yeah. So how we will load and how we will load into Redshift, all those things is some prime area for me, and performance optimization is also one of the prime area which I'm looking for.
So you're already working with Redshift. loading?
No, no, I am not working with Redshift, but yeah, day-to-day basis, I work on. So I work on data lake architecture. So I load the data into S3 and I would process it through Spark and other things. But yeah, uh, data warehouse I have not worked. Yeah, so but I am willing to work in future. So that's how I.
Are you using EMR? Are you using EMR?
No, no, we are not using. We are using Spark, Databricks Spark
Yeah, Spark you are using through Glue or you are using
through
only
Glue.
Spark
Yeah, through Glue.
through Glue?
Yeah.
Okay, through Glue, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. You are almost near. Okay, so yeah. So basically, you are an ETL developer, or we call earlier it is called ETL developer, but yeah, you are a big data developer basically.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, data warehousing, yes, yeah, it is required because even if you want to become a data nowadays, there is no term like ETL developer. It is called data engineer. Even you see
Yeah.
the job postings as a data engineer. Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, Glue knowledge will help, and of course, obviously, Redshift is required. It's the measure. Okay, so yeah,
Yes.
okay, good to know. Like how much experience you have, Somnath?
Yeah, I have 5+ experience.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Mm, yeah, Krishna, can you give me your introduction? Oh, okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. Somnath, yeah, your expectation is that yes, the better we should have very good knowledge on loading, unloading, and performance optimization, these things, right?
Yes, yes. Right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I know, I mean, I'm a real-time candidate, so I know what is required to do the job. Yes, that is what we will be highlighting and emphasizing. Okay. Yeah, Krishna, can you go ahead?
Yeah, hi.
Give me your introduction.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, hi. So my name is Krishna. I'm having around 8 years of experience in data warehouse. It's on majorly on Teradata, then followed by loading into the Hadoop, followed by loading into the Redshift. This Hadoop and Redshift around 1 year of experience in recent organization. So I want to get a good knowledge on the Redshift and in detail level. That's the reason I reached you to get more in detail information. So whatever the so far you have shown on the screen and the topics, those are very interesting. So I'm very interested to learn this one.
Okay.
And having
You have
good
your, yeah, please tell
sorry
me. Yeah, please.
having good understanding and good knowledge on the SQL and Unix, Python as well from past 1 year.
Okay. Have you used Glue?
Glue jobs, not at all. So far, we are by using data grid, I mean query grid process, we are loading into a Amazon Redshift. Going forward, that query grid is going to decommissioned and moving into the glue jobs. So
Okay.
the
Okay.
glue jobs and other step functions, these kind of things, I'm not at all aware, but I will learn it from you.
Don't worry. Glue is not related to Redshift. It's a like it's a separate ETL. It is called Glue ETL. Okay, so it's a separate like our AWS Redshift, IAM, S3. So as these are different services, yes, Glue is another service. Okay, it's like Glue ETL they call it is for extract, transform, and load. Yeah, for that we either need to know either Spark or PySpark or Python or Scala. It runs any of these languages. So if you know any of them, that's fine. All right. Somnath,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Sure. So
Yeah.
if you can show a little bit on the AWS AMR side also, like uh, how it works later on, like little intro.
Yeah, in real time, I'll tell you one thing. In real time, we can only master any one thing. Okay. So I master only in Redshift, of course, related to S3 and IAM while working on Redshift. Okay. Other things, they are only can be like, secondary skills. And especially if you're working in data lake and all, you will be touching the EMR and glue and that stuff. Okay. Yeah. Based on like, yeah, what type of project we are working and what type of background we are coming up. Okay, I'm purely into database background, so in fact that is the reason I focused completely on Redshift itself. Okay, so yeah, if you're focusing on Redshift, you just focus on it. If you know other things, that is well and good. Generally in the Redshift interview, they will ask, do you have an idea about glue? And obviously you already have it, so that's a plus point for you. Okay, so yeah, if you ask like how to start a glue job or something anything about it in glue, you can tell it. That's a plus point. So whatever you know apart from Redshift, that's an additional. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not a data lake kind of thing. But I did not get chance to work on EMR or those things. Yeah, glue of course little bit. I have like you know how to create crawlers and all. Somnath? Yes. Yeah, so yeah, in fact, those things will be asked about glue and all. Yeah, crawlers is actually important in, and it is one of the part in glue. Okay, cool. So yeah. Can you tell me when you say advanced scale, Somnath?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me what is that you are referring as an advanced scale?
From like windowing functions and related concepts.
Yeah, obviously that will be discussed. Okay, so window aggregate functions or rank, row number, these are all same in any database. Okay, so but yes, we'll be covering them. I mean, then only we can say that we know or we are good in SQL. Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course we'll be. Okay. Okay, cool. So okay, Varprasad, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you give me a brief introduction? And what is your expectation? If you, I mean, tell me whatever you feel in your mind, or what is that you are looking for here.
Actually, sir, I don't know about these concepts, sir. I don't have any idea about the database, whatever it is, Redshift. Just I'll
Yeah.
learn basics.
Okay. So yeah, basically, as you don't have any knowledge, so it means that you have to do more work. Okay. Other
Yes,
people,
sir.
they are already working on it. So I mean, they
Yes, sir.
have been working many years.
They both
So
actually they both are
yeah,
some knowledge, sir.
yeah. Since you don't have knowledge, so you must take your more time and spend and yeah, try to come to better position.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So don't worry. Whatever we cover, if you study and if you get familiar with that, that is enough to get onto a job. Okay. So and SQL also you need to practice more.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then only, yeah, then only you can be like others. Okay, cool, fine. So yeah, first let us start today database basics. Very simple. I mean, my teaching is very simple. Okay, so yeah, we know, right? Database. What is a database? What is a database? I want you see these are basics, so I will just go on question answers basis. Somnath, can you tell me what is a database?
Yeah, a database is something through which we store objects, store data.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Okay, yeah, database. Actually, we say database is a collection of data. Bus. Okay, so okay, database is the collection of data in the form of rows and columns. Okay, I mean generally same thing like in Excel sheet we will have rows and columns, right? So same thing. Database is a collection of data, and how the data will be stored in terms of rows and columns in the database. Okay. So what are the database objects? Somnath, you only, I mean, this is just,
Yeah,
these are all like ABC before taking you
yeah.
to, okay. Yeah. What is that? What are database objects?
Tables, views.
Yeah, tables, views, stored procedures, cursors, triggers. Oh, all these are all called database views, even users, databases. Okay, so yeah, these are all database objects. So mostly we'll be working on tables and views generally as a database developer or yeah, ETL developer. So because we most of the time we spend loading data and creating views and querying data or querying views, this stuff. Okay, fine. So what is a relational database? Krishna, tell me what relational database.
So relational database in the sense which is using um, tables for the storing of data in the form of columns and rows for day-to-day activities, which is called as a RDBMS. Those are in the market from past 30 years, 40 years. So, and which will be using the primary key and foreign key concepts in it.
Okay. Yeah, Somnath, tell me what is RDBMS?
Yeah, so RDMS is storing data in the form of rows and columns. Uh, yeah, so
Okay, cool. So first I said DBMS. DBMS means database management system, which is nothing but database. We are referring database. Database means yeah, DBMS. So in DBMS, data is stored in rows and columns. That's fine. But actually, they are tables. We are referring tables only. Data is stored in rows and columns. Yeah. So in DBMS or any database, data is stored basically wherever data is stored in tables, right? So in tables, how the data is stored, rows and columns. That's fine. Just leave it. So that is first one time we'll mention that data is stored in rows and columns. Okay. But actually our data is stored in tables. Okay, fine. So in RDBMS means all the tables are for relational. All the tables are related with primary key foreign key relationships. That's why it is called RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. RDBMS are for relational means in the database tables are stored in terms of tables, but all the tables are related with primary key foreign key relationships. Here we have to highlight the primary key foreign key because here multiple objects are there or multiple tables are there in the database, but how they are related? They're related with primary key foreign key relationship. That's why it is called RDBMS, relational database or relational database management systems. That's why it is called relational or RDBMS. RDBMS means in the database, all the objects are related with primary key, foreign key relationships. Bus that we need to highlight. Okay, all the objects. What are the objects in the database we are referring? We are mainly referring to tables. So all those tables are related with some relation. What is that relation? Primary key, foreign key relationships. Bus. Okay. So then, what is a primary key? Okay, I don't want to show my notes. Okay, what is a primary key? Someone tell me what is a primary key?
So which will be uniquely identify a row inside a table. If any column is considered as a primary in that table, that should be only one value. But if similar,
See, I asked Somnath to answer.
oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, please continue,
Yeah,
Somnath.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So actually, primary key is a unique way to identify a record in a table.
yeah, super. Yeah, simple, straightforward answer. Primary key is generally, primary key is a column which is used to identify the records in a table. Bas. Okay, okay. Any additions? Somnath, what you said is right. I don't say it's not right.
Yeah. So primary key, we will not have any duplicates. On that, so I can just tell some of the properties. Like it will not have any duplicate keys, and
Okay,
yeah, and primary key. So primary key helps us in joining, in joining, like in the arcade, in different schemas, like
okay.
joining a primary
Actually,
keys with the primary.
okay. Enough. You can, Krishna, tell me what is primary key?
So primary key will be used to identify a record inside a table, which is very unique, and it should not be a null for that table. And based upon that primary key, we can make a relationship with the other table in the form of foreign key.
Yeah, I missed the not null property. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that is very important, Somnath. Okay, so actually that's I made a formula here. Okay, so even if you tell directly primary key means unique and not null, that's fine. That means you know the summary of the definition. Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, a primary key is used to identify the records uniquely in a table. Okay, and clause is very important, and it should not be a null value. Both together makes a primary key, not one. So, or you can say primary key means which is unique and not null. You can say like that. Both the clauses should be important. In that primary key means it is both the clauses unique and it's not null. So since it's unique, so if you query on a single value, it will identify one particular record only. It means the first statement, which is uniquely identify the records in a table. Because it's unique, it will have only unique values. So it is used to uniquely identify the records in a table, and it will not have any null values. So that's what primary key means. Primary key means, yeah, it is used to identify the records uniquely in a table, and it should not be a null value. Very important. Even I gave interview at 11 years experience. At that time also I was asked this question. Okay, I have a table with table C1, C2. C1 is a primary key. Can I insert? I mean, I have values 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Can I insert? He was asking. I said no, because 1, 2s are repeated. Primary key should not have duplicate values. So you should say no, you cannot insert. Why? Because primary key is unique. So here you are trying to insert 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 means 1, 2 is repeating. So means you duplicate values are trying to insert, and primary key will not allow duplicate records. It will show like error, a unique violation error, some like that error you will get. Okay, fine. So next, um, I have same table, and I have C1, C2, and C1 is a primary key. I want to insert 1, 2, 3, 4, null 5. Can you insert? No. Why? Because you're trying to insert a null value, and a primary key should not have null value. Okay, it will throw not null value, or even null value into a primary key column, or primary key should not be a null. Error message you will get. That's all. He will not directly ask you what is primary key. That is first class. That is like LKG question. Generally, they will try to ask you like this. So if since we know the concept and we know the practical approach, so we should be immediately our answer will talk to him that yes, this man knows. Okay, so primary key means unique plus not null means the value should be unique and they should not be having any null values. Okay, cool. Foreign key. Somnath, what is foreign key?
Foreign key is used to link two tables. So foreign key is used to link two tables where one primary key of one table is the foreign becomes the foreign key for the another.
Okay, nice. Krishna, can you tell me what is foreign key?
Yes, sure. Foreign key is one table primary key will be acting as a other table foreign key, but it has to have duplicated values, if possible, nulls as well.
Can you
So
repeat again?
in the other table, if we use that foreign key in where condition, we will get more than one records as a output, since duplicates will be there.
I'm asking the question again. Okay, can you please tell me what is a foreign key? Start your answer from beginning.
So one table primary key will be acting as the other table foreign key. It will be having duplicated values. Use it for relation to both tables.
Can you
If I'm
repeat
wrong,
again?
please let me correct.
No,
It will be
yeah,
used
definitely
to
I'm going.
relate.
No, you see, definitely I'm going to. I mean, definitely I'm
Yeah,
going to
correct.
correct. Okay, so but tell me again. I asked something again means yeah. I mean there is something clarity missing. That's why I'm expecting answer again. Can you tell me again?
Yeah, sure. So this can be used as a making a relation between two tables, and the values inside foreign key will be duplicated values. I mean repeated values, and it might contain null values.
Okay. See, when we are saying we should not miss clarity from our end. If we don't have clarity, then how can we teach others? Okay, don't worry. So, as per your definition, for example, this table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4 has it has some column 1. Okay. I mean, it has many columns C1, C2, C3, C4. C1 is the actually primary key. Okay. So you're saying
Yes, yes. I'm looking at the screen.
here you see here also it will become something like FK. I mean, it will become foreign key or it will become foreign key in other table you are saying. Okay, for example. So, so what you said is right, but what I'm saying is some clarity is missing. I'll tell you what is the
Yeah.
clarity missing. How can this column become foreign key in all the tables unless that column present in other tables?
Okay.
I will tell you. You see, a column should be present there. You see, I will tell you. I'll tell you. This C1, C2 is there. Okay, C1, C2, for example. Okay. C2, C3. But here C4, C5, C6. Can it become foreign key for this table?
Not possible since the C1 column is not available in the table 2.
Yeah, that is missing. That is missing in your answer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I got it now.
So yeah, when a primary key of one table, when it is used in another table, it will become a foreign key for the table.
Okay,
Okay.
I got the correct statement now. Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah. So it should be used in another table. Okay. For example,
Yeah, okay.
if C1 is there in T2 table, yes, it can become a foreign key for T2 table because C1 is already a primary key in one table. I will tell you very simple definition. Actually, I love this definition to easily explain to my students. You see, who is a foreigner? Who is a foreigner? A resident of one country. When he present in another country, he will become a foreigner for that country. Agree or not? A resident or a citizen of one country, when he present in another country, he should be present in another country. Then he will become a foreigner for that country. For example, if an Indian, he goes in America or something, he will become a foreigner for that country. Similarly, when a US citizen and he comes to US, he will become a foreigner for our country. If he don't come here, how can he become a foreigner here? Similarly, a primary key of one column, okay, a primary key of one column, when it is present in another table, then it will become a foreign key for the table. So that means because there is a common column exist at that time, then only common column will exist. Okay, C1 is here, it's a primary key here, PK. So, but if the same C1 is present in another table, yes, it will become a foreign key. Why? Because it's already primary key in one table. So a primary key of one table, when it's present in another table, it will become a foreign key for this table. For T2, it will become a foreign key. Similarly, for example, in T3, we have C7, C8, C9. We have it, right? So, for example, can C1 have foreign key for this T3? Can C1 have foreign key for this T3? No, because it's not present here. So, if it has to become, for example, here I will use C4. And here you see, this C4 is a primary key. Let's say this C4 is a primary key. Okay, C4 is a primary key in T2 table. Yeah, okay. In T2 table, C4 is a primary key, let's say. Then what is the foreign key for T3 table? Hello, what is the foreign key for T3 table?
C4.
Sorry?
C4.
Yeah. Krishna, you got it? Krishna, you're there?
Yes, I got it. I was on mute. Yes, I got it. C4 will be the foreign key for the T3 table.
Yeah. So that is my point. Why it is foreign key? Why tell me why it become foreign key for C3 table?
Since in T2 it's a primary key, to make a relationship with the T3 table, it should be a foreign key. And it's available in the T3 table.
Yeah. Yeah. So since if for T2, C4 is a primary key, okay, so that is first point. And C4 is present in T3, so it will become a foreign key. it will become a foreign key. Okay, so I mean, if it present like that, we say it is a foreign key. That is actually the foreign key means. Okay, primary key of one table when it's present in another table, that's what foreign key means. It should not, it should be a foreign key. It's not like that. It should be, it's not like that. When it's present here, it is a foreign key. I mean, these are all only terminology. Okay, so C4 we are saying primary key. Primary key means automatically it will allow only unique records and it will not allow duplicate records. Okay, and for example, C4 you referred in T3. In T3, so it will become a foreign key automatically. Why? Because it's already a primary key in another table, and you use it that in another table, means T3. So it will become automatically foreign key. For the same thing, for example, an American comes to here, it's not that he should be a foreigner. When as soon as he comes to India, he is a foreigner bus to India. Yes or no? Krishna?
Yes.
Krishna, you can unmute. Any problems? Krishna, are you able to listen?
Yes, yes, I'm able to listen. I just need a 5 minutes of time. Please continue. I'm
Yeah,
listening you. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Take. So,
Please continue. Please
so now
continue.
we are clear, right? What is primary key? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So Somnath, you got clarity, right? Primary key, foreign key.
Yes, yes, I got it.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, foreign key. For example, you see, foreign key no need to be unique or no need to be not null. For example, you see, C1 is a primary key in T1 table. So since it's a primary key for this T1 table, so yes, it should be unique and it should not have null values. But when C1 is present in T2 table, since in T2 it's not a primary key, okay? In T2, C4 is a primary key. So C4 is a primary key, so C4 should be unique and C4 should be not null, but not this C1. C1 is not a primary key. So C1 becomes the foreign key. So for foreign key, there is nothing like it should have unique values and it should have null values. It's nothing like that. So C1, which is a foreign key for this table, it can have duplicates, it can have null values. Are you clear on that, Somnath?
Yes, yes, I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, WordPress, are you able to follow?
Yes, sir. I follow, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, you know, okay, okay, cool. No need to say me, sir. You can just say, yes, I am following, or no, I'm not following, not able to follow, something like that, you can say. Okay.
Okay.
So tomorrow you will become sir, don't worry. But it depends on how much
Okay.
time you will put on the subject. Okay. So yeah, this is fundamentals, but very important because when we are troubleshooting the data, yeah, we'll be, in fact, these will play a major role. Especially we'll get a lot of issues related to duplicates and nulls. Okay, cool. So foreign key means a primary key of one table. When it's present in another table, it will become a foreign key for the table. That's the actually definition. Okay. Okay, cool. So here, okay. Yeah, see here, I have some examples here. Customer table, customer ID, PK means primary key, customer name. Okay, and yeah, for product ID primary key and product name and product price. For orders, order ID primary key, PK means primary key, order name. But in customer table, I have PID. and I have OID also. So PID will become foreign key or not for customer table. It will become foreign key. Why? Because PID is already a primary key in another table. Okay. So a primary key of one table when it's present in other table. Yeah, this is a primary key in product table. So when it's present in customer table, it will become a foreign key for this table. That's why it is FK. Similarly, OID. OID is actually primary key in orders table. So when it's present in another table, that is customer, it will become a foreign key for this table. So here one more point. A table can have any number of foreign keys.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, primary key you can have, one, because that column is, of course, you can use it to identify it uniquely, and it should not be an null value. Because in star schema, snowflake schema, the other things are coming up. Somnath, do you have idea about star schema and snowflake schema?
You are asking me, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm aware of it. Star schema, snowflake schema. These are I'm aware.
yeah.
You
So
want me
you
to?
also have idea about fact table and dimension tables.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So in fact table, we'll have all the primary key of the dimension tables in the fact table, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, same thing. Because they are required to join with those tables, right?
Yes,
Yeah. So that's what it means. Basically, yeah, a table can have many foreign keys. So because foreign keys are required to establish a relation. Relation means join with the other tables. For example, customer don't have the PID and okay, IOD. Then how do these three tables will get joined? This is the database modeling. So that's where the importance of primary key, foreign key comes in. Unless we maintain the common columns, how do we join them? Or join means how do we establish a relationship? So yes, we will have a common columns. Okay, so that we can join
yes,
them. Now we can know like which customer purchased what products, or which customers made how many orders. So everything we can have a compiled information which is called report. So that's the reason we'll maintain the common columns. So we need to know, okay, what is the common column, and we'll make join accordingly. Okay, cool, fine. So anyway, you already know it, but I'm just refreshing so that we all will be in sync. Yeah, so database means yes, it will have database objects, tables, views, stored procedures, cursors, triggers, databases, users, and all. Okay, so those are the database objects. Okay, cool. So table means table what it will have. Yeah, WordPress, tell me what table will have. WordPress,
Yes, yes, sir. Yes,
yeah, you know what a table will have?
sorry, sir.
Okay, don't worry. Hey, don't worry. WordPress is not an IT background, so he is completely new. I'm just asking question to get the attention of the candidate. Yeah, tables will have columns, rows. Table means that's what it is. Rows and columns. So definitely it will have data types and these things. Right? When we create a table, we mention all the columns, data types, sizes, and all those things. And of course, relationships means primary key, foreign keys also we will define at the time of creating a table. Yeah, just terminology. Okay, I'm just refreshing. Data types, relations. Okay, data modeling. Yeah, in the data modeling, we will talk about schemas. Okay, star schema, snowflake schema. Yeah, that also I will cover going forward. But right now, only yes, in the data modeling, we'll work on the schemas like star schema and snowflake schema. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, next is, yeah, as part of the database object, yes, users will be there, databases will be there, tables will be there, procedures, yeah, everything will be there. So in users, yes, generally as soon as you join a company, they will create a user. For example, you are an Oracle DBA or you are a Teradata DBA. So as soon as you are Teradata even developer, if you want access to the database, they will create your user. They'll grant you whatever access you need for whatever databases they will grant you. And yeah, those things will be taken care. Then you will start logging in and working on your day-to-day projects. Okay, cool. So yeah, with respect to interview perspective and the troubleshooting perspective, this is about primary key and foreign key. Yeah, very important. So I think there is nothing much on that. Okay, so the next concept will be data warehousing basics. Yeah, it will take maybe around some 2-3 hours. Okay, but because we need to cover star schema, snowflake schema, and SCD type 1, type 2, type 3, all those things will be covered. So very, 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 very important with respect to job as well as with respect to interview. So yeah, that we will see in next session. Any questions? Now it's your turn to ask me questions. Okay, till now I have asked questions. Now you can ask your questions. One thing, you can ask any question. Okay, feel free to ask any question.
So far, no questions are from my end. But the way you explained, that's very easy to understand, and it's easy to me to get a recollet of whatever so far I have worked. That's very good. I can say it. Apart from that, no more questions as of now.
Okay, sometimes my answer seems to be some harsh. Don't get feel anything. Okay, I
No, no, not at all,
straightforward.
not at all,
Okay, even
not at all.
I tell to the students. Okay, yeah, because
Hmm.
that is required to so that he will just remember the answer. Okay, and the way if you present my answer, it is very easily understandable to the interviewer or even for the students if you are a trainer. Somnath, Krishna is a
Yes.
trainer. Okay, he's a Redshift trainer. So if you want to upgrade to, I mean, he's a Teradata trainer. You want to upgrade to Redshift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice.
So
Good to have classes with experts.
Yeah, thanks, Sonath.
yeah, yeah. Somnath, do you have any questions to me?
No, not now, not now. Yeah, and it looked good. Everything will. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Mine is a summary. Okay, the whole content I will just give in a nutshell. If you answer that, that's all. Other person will not talk anything. Other person means the interviewer. That is the way I give the statements. So just I mean just try to present as I'm presenting to you. Okay, like summary statements. That's all. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
So
definitely.
after after covering the database and data warehousing, then we'll go with the Redshift architecture and all. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Thank you all. If you don't anyway, Purpose, do you have any questions?
No, sir. No, no. Actually,
Okay. If you need anything, just call me on my cell number or call me on my WhatsApp number. Okay. Anytime,
sure,
anything. All of you.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I will call you.
Yeah. Sure. Okay then. Actually, see you tomorrow. Hmm? Actually, I have one thing to tell you. Tomorrow I have, passport appointment for my wife and children. Tomorrow I will not be able to join in the morning. Is that fine?
From my end, it's fine. I don't have any issue.
Or if you want, we can have it in the evening. Evening maybe after 6. If you want. Somnath, what about you?
Yeah, I also don't have.
You don't have any concerns, or
Uh, no, no. So what is the question? I missed. Like
no?
you
I am
asked about.
asking. Tomorrow I have some. I need to go outside for passport office tomorrow morning. Can we meet day after tomorrow, or can we meet tomorrow
No,
evening?
tomorrow evening is also fine. If Krishna is okay with it, or else morning and next day morning is also okay. So both works for me.
Okay, then we'll meet not tomorrow, day after tomorrow morning.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
I don't
Sure,
want to
Yeah.
sure.
disturb the schedule.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because if you want, we can have it Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so those 2 days will help us. Okay, to not to lose any days. Okay, but tomorrow I don't want to change the schedule from morning to evening. We'll have it day after tomorrow. Is that fine?
Fine.
Yeah, fine. It will be
Yeah,
fine for me as
because Varprasad also wants some leave tomorrow, so that's why.
well. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay then.
Sure.
Huh?
We
Nice
we
talking
will
to you.
connect day after tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Huh? Nice talking to you. Huh? Take care.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
Hmm.